George couldn't recall ever seeing the man with the yellow hat looking like this. He was usually calm, cool, and wearing a yellow hat.
Oh, here he comes. Hello?
Good morning. Come on in. Ready as promised.
Ah, it was worth living without it for 3 long days. I'd rather carry it myself, George.
You're not gonna wear your hat?
No, I want to keep it perfect till tonight. We're going to the opening of the new planetarium dome. Thanks. Let's get home before anything happens to my perfect clean hat. Well, we made it safely. Okay, now, George, when I get back, we're going right to the planetarium, so take a bath. There'll be photographers there. I want you to look clean and fluffy.
George was going to take a bath, just like he was told. It sure was a perfect hat. Who could resist trying it on? George wanted Compass to see him in the yellow hat. It'd only take a second. George saw the hat fly this way, but it disappeared. The hat was back home and still perfect. Almost. George removed the piece of branch as carefully as any surgeon working on any yellow hat could. Okay, there was just a tiny thread there. No problem. Maybe he needed to pull harder. Or maybe it had to be cut off. George had forgotten that the last time he used his safety scissors was to cut his strawberry jam and banana sandwich. It was only a small smudge. All he had to do was clean it off. This stiff brush got the grill sparkling like new every time, and the grill got dirtier than the hat. He may have scrubbed too hard. There were only 2 things that could get George to take a bath: bubbles and Springy. the most awe-inspiring toy frog that ever lived, and the best bubble maker George ever met. A bath just wouldn't be a bath without them.
I wonder what this belongs to. Oh, George! I found your lost boat. In the freezer. You know, George, if you were a little more careful with your toys, you wouldn't lose so many of them. You almost ready to go to the park? Hey, aren't you glad we found your boat, George? George?
Sharky wanted to play in the mud, too.
Hey, George! What do you say we go home and grab some lunch? Maybe you should try and clean up a little bit before we go. We could be here all day doing this. You can clean up at home, George. Okay, George, lunch is ready. George, you have to get cleaned up before you can eat. Just take a quick bath. I'll wait.
There were only two things that could get George to take a bath: Bubbles and Springy the frog. George wondered where he could be.
George? George, what is taking so long? You can clean your room later, after you clean yourself, and after we eat lunch. Hop in. Oh, I get it. You want to be launched like a new ship, huh? All right, here we go. Into the sea. You're tickling me. Look, I know you took a bath already this morning, but you're muddy, George. No. Hey, look at all the fun bubbles. See?
There was no way George could take a bath without Springy, who had to be around here somewhere.
George?
And there was no way George was going to admit he lost another toy, who had to be here somewhere.
George! George!
One great thing about living in the country is fresh dairy products.
Morning, Mr. Ankins.
And to George, one great thing about fresh dairy products was the cows.
Leslie sure likes you. Well, happy cows give more milk, so please stay as long as you like.
Does that sound like fun, George? Okay, remember, be a good little monkey.
George really liked cows. No one else he knew was that big, that friendly, and gave milk. It seemed like Jumpy Squirrel must have had food stored everywhere. Wildflowers. George had never seen so many colors anywhere else but in his crayon box. And they smell better than crayons. George wanted to share his discovery. After all, who doesn't like to smell nice flowers? George tried telling her to be a good little cow. Leslie obviously didn't speak monkey. So George tried to speak cow. More cows were coming. Maybe this whole field had once been filled with beautiful flowers, and they'd already eaten the rest. George had to act fast before these flowers became a big bovine buffet. Unfortunately, cows don't understand arrows. He tried to distract them by juggling apples. But the cows ate his act. So George borrowed an old scarecrow and turned it into a frightening scare cow. When spring is in the air, there's nothing a monkey likes more than to spring in the air. To keep his lobby orderly, Hundley always kept a close eye on George.
Come on, George.
I wish I had your energy, George.
Just watching George made Hundley tired.
Hello, Professor Wiseman.
Hi. What do you have, George? Your favorite kind of dinosaur? Oh, that's your favorite. But they're the same. Those are the bones that would be inside that. You know, same as the bones in you. Feel your arm. The hard part? That's bone. It's your skeleton.
Now that he knew he had one of those under his face, George had to see the T-Rex skull up close.
George, don't. It isn't safe. Oh. Are you okay?
George always wanted to ride in an ambulance, but he couldn't really enjoy it. At the hospital, Dr. Baker decided they needed to see George's leg bone by taking an X-ray.
Well, that's a small break. We have to put your leg in a cast. Now, this cast will keep your leg from moving while the bone heals.
Hey, that looks like George.
Hundley knew what to do when he heard that name. He got ready to defend the dignity of his lobby.
Poor little guy. Is he all right?
Oh, yeah, but he's gonna be out of action for weeks.
No jumping. No noise. Hundley wasn't so sure this was George.
Well, hello. You have a visitor, George.
It was George, all right. No one else in the building smelled like that.
Hello? Hundley come up here?
Yeah, we're in George's room.
You know, in the lobby, Hundley pays more attention to George than anyone. That's friendship. Hundley could keep George company when you go to work. I'd excuse him from his lobby duties.
George, would you like Hundley to be your monkey sitter?
George was conducting an important experiment, testing the bounce factor of the living room furniture. This part of the couch made a different sound. That wasn't the couch. It sounded big. It sounded heavy. And it came from up there.
You must have heard our new neighbor walking around. He moved in last week.
What George had heard seemed heavier than footsteps.
What are you doing? George, you must have heard our neighbor walking. That's all it could be. It's not like he's got some wild animal up there.
The man with the yellow hat lived with George, so why couldn't the new neighbor live with an animal? But what kind? Of course, the new neighbor had brought home an elephant. The man with the yellow hat had to hear this.
George? You dreamt about an elephant?
Shh.
Oh, no more nature books before you go to sleep, George. They're obviously giving you strange dreams. This is better bedtime reading. The Happy Sleepy Monkey.
Good night.
This new sound certainly wasn't an elephant walking around. It was an elephant that was doing what?
Oh, boy, I didn't sleep at all last night.
George never realized there were so many sounds in the world. He'd never listened hard enough. That was the balcony to the apartment upstairs, where the new neighbor lived, with his elephant.
No secret that monkeys like cars. All kinds of cars.
Ready? Get set and go!
Nice wipeout! That reminds me. You should have seen me almost wipe out at the Derby. I was coming down the hill, accelerating to maximum gravitational pull, and then I lost a wheel.
I think Bill is talking about a soapbox derby, George. It's where kids build and race their own cars.
And there's a derby today on Boysenberry Hill.
Oh,
Check it out.
Bill, that is one nice-looking vehicle. Did you build it yourself?
I sure did. It's got rear wheel steering, caliper brakes, and a parachute.
You have a parachute in there?
It pays to be prepared.
Me too. I want to build a car like that and almost wipe out on a hill.
You kids want to enter the soapbox derby?
Yes, and double yes.
If you're serious, then you'll need the rule book. It pretty much tells you everything you need and how to put it together.
Hey, you want some help? I was a pretty mean derby racer in my day.
Sorry, but that's against the rules. Contestants have to build their own cars.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, you're welcome to borrow anything you see around the house.
Ooh.
You can keep that. I don't need it anymore. The race starts at 2 p.m. sharp. See you there.
Bye.
Bill was right. The book could tell them everything. If only they knew how to read.
The car. Something car. Something car. car. This book needs more pictures.
A picture. This looked like something they'd need, the part to sit in. They also needed that, a steering wheel, just like on the man's car, and wheels for the car to sit on.
Hey, George, you see how that thingy there is stopping the wheel? I bet that's a brake.
A brake. Maybe this book could show them how to build a car.
Oh, yeah! Let's just follow the pictures. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's go look in our barn. Grandpa has all kinds of stuff in there. Oh, yeah, good idea. Let's take the wagon. Maybe we'll find car stuff on the way.
Oops. Wasn't the wagon right here?
Yeah. These flowers will look beautiful in that old kayak.
Hiya, Mrs. Quint. Guess what? George and me, we're building a car so we can race in a race. All we need are car parts.
Well, if you see any car parts lying around, just help yourself. Must have left my gloves inside.
The broken boat and the car body looked a lot alike.
They're almost totally exactly the same. And look it. It already has 2 seats. One for you and one for me.
Saturday was a day when monkeys and men with yellow hats return books and get new ones.
A whole building full of books. What could be better than that, huh, George? Are you excited to get a new book, George? Adventurous Henry is one of my favorites, too. Maybe you should check it out again. It's called Renewing a Book. People do it all the time.
George was thrilled because the man with the yellow hat had only read the book to him 18 times.
That's strange. I don't see the librarian. Mrs. Dewey? Huh.
I'm right here.
Oh, there you are.
Sorry for the mess. My work keeps stacking up.
George would like to renew a book, please.
I sure wish I had someone to help out today.
Something tells me George is available.
That's stupendous. Thank you, George.
George, I have some research to do. Will you be all right here by yourself? Well, then I'll be back in a few hours. Be a good little monkey librarian.
Okay, George. Would you mind going through this pile and separating out the DVDs?
George soon discovered that he was a super fast movie grabber and a super fast book scanner. And a super fast pencil sharpener.
Mrs. Dewey, please report to the main library immediately. 5 book clubs have arrived, all at once.
Oh, dear. I'll be back as soon as I can, George. Until then, it looks like you're in charge. Huh? You're a terrific helper.
George was in charge of a library. George wondered if he should put the rest of the books away. That seemed like something a monkey in charge would do. George had put the books away in record time. This librarian stuff was easy.
Hi, George. Where's the librarian? Oh, I see. Can you help me find Hundley's favorite book? It's called Dachshunds and Dandelions. It's a small yellow book. It's usually on this shelf.
A yellow book? No problem. George was very familiar with that color.
Nope, not it. Nope, and nope.
There were a lot of yellow books.
No, no, no. That's it! Dachshunds and Dandelions. See? Thanks, George. I'll check this out in the main library. Goodbye.
Finding books was hard. George was trying his best not to wake up the man with the yellow hat. But today was Saturday, and the man was taking George to the zoo to see a dragon. Okay, they weren't really going to see a fire-breathing dragon. They were going to see a Komodo dragon, which is more like a giant lizard.
Morning, George. Excited about seeing a dragon? So a subway is a huge network of trains that runs under the ground. Yeah, there's a subway right below our feet. It takes thousands of people and the occasional monkey to places all around the city, like the zoo. And the entrance is right down those stairs. Hey, wait up! No, George, stop! We have to pay. Sorry about that, officer. It's his first time on the subway.
Oh, not to worry. On my watch, monkeys ride free.
Oh, thanks.
George was confused. Where were the trains?
Don't worry, George. The train should be here any minute. Would you like to look at the map? We're here at Endless Park Station, and we're going to take the subway all the way to the zoo. Along the way, we'll pass the Puerto del Sol station. That's the neighborhood where Marco lives. And Chinatown, where we go for Chinese food.
Reginald B. Farnsworth III. Professional clown at your service. Where are you lads headed?
We're going to the zoo to see a Komodo dragon.
Oh, no need to travel that far, my good man, when you can see a Komodo dragon right here. Yes, I know, it's a giraffe. It's the only animal I know how to make. Toodaloo!
Okay, then. Hey, George, would you like a subway map as a souvenir of your first ride? Okay, wait here. I'll be right back.
George couldn't wait to get on the train, so he didn't.
Oh, good, the train's here. Now where's George? George? Wait! Here you go. George, I'm out.
Wait, my monkey's on the train.
George!
Get off at the next station and wait for me there.
Oh, boy.
Care for another giraffe?
Oh, hey there! I've never had a monkey on my train before. Would you like to see how I drive this thing? Oh, maybe you'd even like to help. From here, I control the train's speed, brakes, and doors. Okay, the workers are done and the light's green, so it's time to get moving. So let's blow the horn. Now move the lever forward, easy, and get this train a-rolling. And here we are at our next stop, Puerto del Sol. Great job. You can drive my train anytime. Bye now.
On a hot day, it's a good idea if both you and your garden get plenty to drink. That's why the man with the yellow hat was making orange juice, while George watered the garden. Sort of.
Hey, George. George! How about taking a bath to wash all that mud off?
George was puzzled. Did the bathtub run out of water?
Hey, George, I'm not getting any water downstairs. How about you? I'd better call Mr. Quint.
George didn't understand why not having any water led to Mr. Quint digging up their yard.
Seeing as how I can't offer water, how about some fresh OJ?
Oh, wouldn't say no to that.
So, how's it look, Mr. Quint? Did our well run dry?
Oh, no. Just a broken pump. You got plenty of water down there. There's water under the dirt, George. Yeah. Now, this here is your house. That's the water. And to get to it, all you have to do is dig a well. Yep, a well. See, a well is just a hole in the ground that's deep enough to reach water. And a pump, like that one there, suctions the water up and out. Sort of like the way you're using that straw. Every time you suck on it, you're pulling the orange juice up out of your glass.
See, this is actually an old pump, George. Years ago, people either did their washing here or used buckets to carry water inside. Water would get sucked into this pipe and then come out here. Yeah, just like that. Except you're not allowed to play with your food. Nowadays, an electric pump sucks up the water and sends it through a long pipe straight into our house. Easier than buckets, huh?
Well, your house won't be seeing water for a few more days, I'm afraid. I have to order you a new pump.
A few days? Well, I guess that means we're going back to the city, George. Some of us still need a bath.
There are those who appreciate a clean lobby. And then there's George.
Okay, go straight in and run a bath, George. Hello? Oh, Professor Wiseman. Oh, yes, that does sound serious.
Only one octopus?
Hey, George? I have to go help Professor Wiseman. Don't forget about that bath.
George decided that the best thing to do was to put all his toys in the tub.
Hi, leave a message when you hear the... George?
Hello? Is anyone there? I just wanted to make sure you saw that orange fly eye slipped under your door.
We have to shut off all the water at 4 o'clock, which is... now!
Few things captured the attention of a curious little monkey.
I wonder what this could be. Okay. Oh, it's from my mother. Happy birthday, love, Mom.
Aw, that's so sweet. Is today your birthday?
It is. And George and I are going to celebrate. I'm late for my appointment. Hold on to this for me, will you, George? I'll be back at 7, and then we'll celebrate. Bye, George.
If it was my birthday, I'd have a party. You want to have a party? Shh. A surprise party? Even better. You know how I throw a party? It's as easy as A, B, C, D. All you need is A, an apartment, B, your buddies, C, a cake, and D, decorations.
A, B, C, D. That didn't sound hard at all. The man with the yellow hat would be back at 7. George had only 4 hours to get the party ready. He already had an apartment. And the man's buddies were listed in this book. So that took care of A and B. But George still needed C and D, a cake and decorations.
You want me to invite the people in his address book? All of them? Okay. 7? Oh, you mean 7 o'clock. Got it.
Since you invited me to your party, I'm gonna give you my special all-fruit frozen cake on the house. Just pick a size, Giorgio.
A big party needed a big cake.
The big one. Surprise. Looks like quite a celebration. Is it a birthday? Yeah. Say, I could blow that up for you. It'd make a great decoration. Just pick a size. Normal, huge, or jumbo madness. Jumbo madness it is.
Hiya, George. Everyone's coming. I just had to say yellow hat, and they all said yes. Oh, I'll take that stuff upstairs. Maybe you want to get a stepladder to hang the star?
George thought the small ladder looked about right.
$5 Oh, I gotta get back to work. Hundley can stay, though. See you at the party.
George had picked too wide of a cake. It wouldn't fit in the freezer. Luckily, it was cold out on the balcony. That took care of C, cake. Now for D, decorations. George had also picked too big of a poster. And a too small ladder. Using the detector, George found lots of metal things. But none of them was Yorbo.
Oh, the batteries are dead. I'll have to recharge them, but I'll bring this back tomorrow in case you're still looking. Bye now.
Thank you.
George couldn't wait for tomorrow. He had to find Yorbo before he rusted.
That's probably Professor Wiseman. Maybe she can think of something.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
I heard there was a storm, so I thought I'd check in. Oh, what's wrong?
Well, George can't find his robot. It's buried in the sand.
Is it made of metal? You could try using a metal detector.
We borrowed one, but it ran out of batteries.
Well, metal detectors are easy to make. Sure. First, grab the portable radio from the shelf.
Okay. AM/FM radio, check.
Next, find the calculator, bottom drawer on the desk. Then get some tape, a top drawer on the desk. Now take the radio and switch it to AM.
Okay.
Then turn the knob all the way to the highest radio station number, but make sure you get static and not an actual station. Turn up the volume, then turn on the calculator and tape it to the radio.
Fantastic.
You see, the radio and calculator act as a magnet. When it finds things that would stick to a magnet, the radio beeps.
That's amazing. I can't believe you knew that.
Well, how do you think I won first place in my second grade science fair?
George was confused. He had already searched half the beach. But which half? If only the beach were smaller. Then George remembered tic-tac-toe. He could break up the beach into smaller sections, like a tic-tac-toe board. If George could mark off the squares he searched, then he'd know where he'd looked and where he needed to look.
Hi, George. You want to make a grid to help you keep track of your search? Oh, great idea, George. All set. Let me know if you need anything.
If George searched every square, then he'd be sure to find Yorbo. In square number 4, George found a trumpet. In square 6, George found a front grille to a 57 Cadillac. But by square number 8, there was still no sign of Yorbo.
No luck, huh?
Yorbo had to be in this last square. He had to.
Way to go, George! You found him!
Yorbo is great, yes?
Have fun! Well, I guess this means I can get back to the thrilling conclusion of my book. Oh well. Wait for me!
Now for the test. It worked. And George figured if it worked for blueberries, it should also work for coconut. George's creation worked like a vending machine, but it didn't look like one. Not yet. As the saying goes, one person's refrigerator box is another monkey's vending machine. George finished his machine by making a serving slot for the bowls. Everything looked great. But who would turn the wheels? Even after a great Pescetti meal, the two groups were still poles apart.
We've got to get both groups to relax and mingle. Maybe the after-dinner entertainment will help?
Oops. I forgot all about that. Sorry. Right, dessert. Yes, George, we're ready.
May I have everyone's attention, please? I want to thank Professor Chilla de Winter and Professor Dewey Friesem.
I represent the North Pole, of course. The one on top of the world.
It all depends on how you hold the map.
Yes, well, thank you for joining us tonight. And may I just say, what is that?
Is that a vending machine?
Wow!
George's special dessert started with a special coin. Gnocchi's love of toys was exactly what the George-o-matic needed.
Look at that.
That is amazing.
Wonderful. Thank you. Oh, why, this is snow on a mountain.
My mommy used to make that.
Mine too.
Oh, what do you mean you forgot the entertainment? This is perfect.
at you!
Look at you!
It's like the Arctic in here.
I'd say more like the Antarctic. Oh, frostbite and icicles. Snow is snow, right?
Right.
Put her there.
Happy to.
Well, George, thanks to you, Operation Snow Go is going. George?
As for George, he was busy perfecting his plans for the next George-o-matic.
I'm afraid you'll have to wait till next year. I got 'em all shorn at the fair.
Maybe some other animal grew hair that George could turn into yarn. But Leslie's hair was much too short. The pigs had hardly any hair. The chickens have feathers instead of hair.
Oh, don't worry, George. Hey, maybe there's a pilot with a plane who can fly us over the whole country so we can look around for a sheep with hair.
Allie, Mr. Rankins, come to the house. Cousin Ida's on the phone.
I'll be right back, George. And I'll bring my bike so we can start looking for pilots.
George figured he'd pass the time watching the sheep eat grass. A lot of grass. Oh no, a sheep was escaping. Bo didn't seem to understand monkey. But he did understand this. Now, what was the whistle for help runaway sheep? George didn't know, so he guessed. Wrong guess. Now George wondered how to whistle, "Come back." Another wrong guess. George was suddenly wishing he'd paid more attention at the sheepdog competition. He tried every whistle he could think of to get Bo to turn the sheep around. None of them was right.
Been a slow day today.
You were saying?
Never mind.
The sheep ended up at George's house.
Hi, George. Anything interesting happen while I was gone? Oh, no. George? Don't worry, Mr. Rankins. Yes, we have your sheep, and they're all safe. George, could you get those sheep away from the tuba?
Go on, go on. Boy, am I grateful. That storm blew a bunch of trees down in the pasture. If George hadn't found shelter for the sheep, they might have gotten hurt.
Huh? You hear that, George? You're a hero, monkey.
We went to a friend's to get a thank you gift. Allie knew just what you wanted.
Wool! And lots of it. We can dye it any color you want.
I'll teach you how to knit.
You'll have a new scarf in no time.
And that was how George not only made a new scarf for himself, but also one for the man with the yellow hat. A long scarf.
And I think you picked the right color.
Safe at home.
Now that George was a numbers pro, he was having a great time, keeping score, watching the game, and rooting for Marco to hit a home run.
Here's the pitch. Looks like it could get out of here. It's going. A fantastic grab by the outfielder. That was the third out. Now the Tiger babies are up.
Sorry, hungry people. My mom's on the phone and I have to talk to her. I wish there was someone who could help you, but there isn't. Really? You can help? Awesome! But first I have to see if you're qualified. It fits! You got the job. Good news, people. This very nice monkey is taking my place. I just served customer number 7, so 8 is next. Hey, Mom, what's up?
After 7 comes 8, then 9, then 10. This was going to be easy. George had no idea what number came after that.
Excuse me, I'm number 16. I should get my drink before 17 gets his pretzel.
Hold on! You can't serve 16 before you serve 14.
What about 13, monkey?
12 comes before 13.
11 is next.
Calm down, people. What's the problem?
He's serving us out of order.
Seriously? Do you know your numbers?
Nice job. Good.
Cool. So what comes after 10? Well, I'll show you. It's easy. Just cover the first part of the number with your hand and look at the second part. See? 1, 2. So 11, then 12. Awesome! Do you want me to take over?
As fun as it was to hand out popcorn, George was eager to get back to the game.
Hey, kid, where you been? Oh, never mind that. It's clutch time. It's the last inning, bottom of the 9th. The score is tied 4-4. There are 2 outs, and Marco's up to bat. But he hurt his foot playing shortstop, and now he can't run. Can you run the bases for him?
So if I hit the ball, will you run for me?
Thanks, kid. Let's go!
This is it, folks. After 2 scoreless innings, it's the Cubby Bears' last chance to break the tie.
Wish me luck, George.
Strike 1. Strike 2. Just a reminder, folks. 3 strikes and you're out.
Keep going! Keep... Home run! Marco, home run!
I did it! I hit a home run!
Oops! Run, George, run!
If bases were like everything else, then George should run them in order. First base first, second base second, and third base third.
Bring it home, kid! Bring it home!
Slide, George! Slide!
Save!
What a hit! What a slide! The Bears have won the game!
I did it! I hit a home run! And I couldn't have done it without you, George!
We're so proud.
That was a fine hit, Marco, and a fine run, kid. Kid?
There he is!
Citizens of Prairieville, welcome to the ceremony for the joining of the rails. And to drive in the last pin, Sheriff Doorman.
What?
Oh dear, I've lost the pin.
Here he is! Sorry, excuse me.
Oh no!
This was awful. Hundley had to find that pin.
Need a hand, partner?
We feel just awful about losing the pin.
Prairieville, Prairieville, we won't be going nowhere until we find the pin that flew away and ruined the ceremony.
And ruin the ceremony. This is hopeless.
The deputy thought she might be right. There was too much sand. Then the stranger realized all they needed was a sifter. Something with holes that would let the dirt out but keep the pin in.
Oh!
Who's hungry? After all, what's a Western without a the spaghetti?
Perfect. A really big sifter. The deputy hoped the holy bowl would save the day. Only it didn't. The holes were too big to keep the small pin inside.
Any luck finding the pin?
Last piece of pie. Sure you don't want some?
Suddenly, the stranger knew what to do. If he wanted a sifter with holes the right size, he'd have to make it himself. Luckily, he knew how big the holes needed to be. This was bigger than the pin from the box. If the stranger used it to make holes, the pin would fall through them. But this was a perfect size nail. It would make a hole that would let the dirt out, but keep the pin in.
Well, I'll be.
There it is!
Great job, Deputy.
Hey, there it is!
Way to go, Hundley.
You've got the best sifter of all.
Yeah, your nose. Now, who should put in the pin? We don't want to lose it again.
Hey, my town! It's all set up. Aw, and you saved the last pin for me.
Hundley was happy the train was back on track.
This is great! And I've got the perfect name for it. Hundleyville. What do you think of that, Hundley? Hundley?
Maryville was neat and clean, had the best sheriff you've ever seen. His deputy was on the ball.